Good afternoon.
Who are you?
My name is Christina Guerra.
Where's the consultant?
I'm one of the registrars on the ward.
Where is the consultant? Why aren't I seeing the consultant?
He's not here at the moment, but I'm coming instead to try and have a word with you.
So that's another issue. Why isn't the consultant seeing me?
They're busy with an emergency case at the moment.
Right, so I'm not an emergency.
Well, I've come instead at the beginning, if you don't mind talking to me a bit.
Well, I do mind talking to you, but what the hell are you going to tell me?
Well, I was hoping to maybe see if I can be of any help to you with the situation at
How
hand.
the hell are you going to help me?
Well, I've had a look at your files and I've had a look at your case. First of all, I just wanted to make sure that I'm actually on the right track over here. You've just delivered a lovely baby boy, haven't you?
Well, I can't even believe. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. Have you seen him?
Could I ask what the little one's name is?
His name is Christian.
Okay, how? I know it's going to sound like a silly question, but how is Christian doing?
He's not good, okay? He is very, very ill, and I need to know what the hell your hospital is going to do to make things better for me. Why wasn't this picked up?
Yes, so basically...
Why wasn't this picked up? Tell me what went wrong? Why did this even happen?
Do you know, I'm sorry about this difficult situation, and we've never obviously met before, so it's even more difficult, but do you know, have you been able to speak to the baby doctor?
I've spoken to the paediatrician and he's given me all the information that he possibly can. But that is really not going to help me, okay? Yeah. I want to know why this wasn't picked up. Why the hell? I went to all of my appointments. I was very diligent about my appointments. Why wasn't this picked up? Yeah. What is the point of going to a scan if something like this isn't going to be picked up?
Well, unfortunately, the spina bifida that Christian has was, as you were very well saying, not picked up on scan. And
it was massive. It is a massive defect. Yeah. How someone who was blind could have picked that up? Why wasn't this picked up?
Well, if you're asking me as to why, I can only give you a few options why. Nothing's going to definitely give you an answer, but when people scan, first of all, you've had scanners seeing the little one scan.
He is going to be disabled. He is going to be very, very unwell for the rest of his life.
It's what we call a very unfortunate critical incident.
Great. I'm glad to know that you think that this is an unfortunate situation. This is my life, okay? Yeah. This is not just an unfortunate situation. This is a massive stuff up by your hospital, and your hospital is going to pay for it.
The person in concern has actually
been The person in concern needs to be fired. Yeah. That's what needs to happen.
I think at this point in time, we need to be aware of limitations to whatever we do, including the scan itself. I mean, spina bifida has a 90% pickup rate on scan, even on the best.
A 90% pickup.
Yes, which usually means that unfortunately there is.
Why wasn't I told that? Why wasn't I told that it was a 90%?
Well, I think the people who actually
what is the point?
Scanning did not feel that there was any risk, and in fact, the pictures that they have provided us in your file did not pick up this situation.
Have you seen the size of the defect?
I think what happens is in most cases, if there's a defect or a problem, it's flagged up, and then the woman obviously is scanned more than twice as routine, and obviously things are then homed into. But at this point in time, what we do have is a situation where you've had your proper scans, 2 scans, it wasn't picked up, and the situation led to delivery of Christian with
exactly. That's exactly what happened.
As regards other things, why things might have gone wrong, there might have been problems with the machine.
Yes, you said the machine. There's something wrong with the machine.
Yes, so although we do have pictures from the machine that don't really clearly show a defect, and we could also have a problem with the actual position of the image at the time of taking, or maybe the position of the baby.
Right, so you're telling me that it's my son's fault that my son was in the wrong position for your scanner not to be able to pick that up.
I don't think it's a matter
it's my baby's fault. What about the person who was doing it? What was wrong with him? Why would it? What kind of training did he have?
The person scanning it is a fully trained scanner.
Well, he mustn't be fully trained, and I think those qualifications need to be looked into immediately.
Well, they are, and we are actually reviewing the qualifications and making sure that they are.
He probably bought them off the internet, didn't he? Because I mean, seriously, how could any?
No, I don't think it's a matter of
well, that's what you're
saying,
isn't it?
No, what I'm saying is that things have happened. We don't know necessarily why. No, I don't think the aim of this constellation really is why it's happened. I think it's happened.
Yes, it is about why it's happened.
And I don't think blaming people at this stage, or Christian, who is the least to blame of this,
don't even bring my son into this. My son is not to blame in any of this, okay? Your hospital and the person who scanned me is clearly to blame here.
There was a serious mistake done.
Right.
I acknowledge that.
Right. And will you put that in writing?
I apologise. Well, I am a registrar on the ward. This is the first time we're seeing each other. I think what we should do is have a word with the consultant, who is definitely coming to talk to you, because that's why they've sent me in the interim to try and smooth things.
Will the consultant better sort this out?
Well, yes, they will come and have a full consultation with you.
Well, I know exactly who's to blame. It's your hospital.
Yes.
And I'm going to make sure that your hospital
understand
pays for everything, all of the care that he needs, and this mistake.
And that is your
And I will
right.
make sure that this hasn't happened to any other woman
That is
here
your right
ever
to do
again.
that, but you need
Well, it
to-
is my goddamn right, and I will be taking it
Very
further.
to ask for a thorough investigation, the outcome of which is obviously varied. I'm not a lawyer person.
You've told me that all this investigation is going to happen, but I mean, what really is going? I mean, I can't even.
I'm a doctor, so from the legal point of view...
Really?
there are
Well, you know, the
lines.
guy who took my scan said that he was a professional, but, you know, how do I know that?
Yeah. Well, what I can say is that from the legal point of view, there are ways and routes which you can...
Well, you can
go through.
you can
But I think
be
beyond-
very clear that I will be taking every possible...
think it is
I'm a
within
solicitor,
your
and so I will be making sure that I use every angle possible to make sure that this hospital is brought to justice.
It's within your complete right to do that.
I-
However, from my point of view, is there anything I can help you...
What's going to happen now if I want to have another child?
Let's start talking about the general things first of all. The prevalence of this condition in a Northern European population is about 1 in 500 cases. We do know
Do I look Northern European to you?
when you do have a child with spina bifida, the risk goes up to about 1 in 100 cases. So you're obviously going to be at a higher risk than the rest of the
Right, so
population.
what kind of
now.
extra care am I going to get?
Fine, so we will put you on folic acid tablets, just as you had before in your previous pregnancy, but at a much higher dose, at a 5 milligram dose.
So are you saying that if I'd had a higher dose of iron that this might not have happened? So
No, I think the higher dose of iron is not something routinely given, but we are aware that when there is a potential problem, it does help. So it is one thing we would definitely do. We will definitely scan you not by one, but by 2 independent
well,
scanners.
what kind of guarantee is that going to give me that these are going to be people that are actually going to be able to pick
Well,
up
having
something?
2 people rather than 1 person adds an extra set of eyes to it, and both of them will be very
Will
senior
they be
people.
senior? Right, okay.
So they will be very senior people, so that will obviously help as well.
Well, so what else can be done apart from a
can
scan?
be
I've heard of another, where you put the needle in, amniocentesis
Yeah,
or something
yeah.
like that. Why
That
didn't
is
that happen?
something-
Is that something that will happen now?
It's basically inserting the needle under a local anaesthetic through the tummy, getting a sample of the fluid around the
Right. So
baby.
why wasn't that done?
Well, because for a spina bifida, amniocentesis picks up genetic defects. It would not pick up an open neural tube defect like spina bifida. Plus, it actually has a risk of miscarriage in
It just
itself.
seems like there are all these things that just can't get picked up. I mean, what is the goddamn point?
Well,
Look,
picked up
the
is
fact is that I should have been told about this, and whether or not
Yeah.
my right to keep the baby or not is really none of your concern, but I should have been told about this at 11 weeks and at 20 weeks when I had my scans, okay? And it's your absolute mistake, and it's your hospital's mistake that wasn't picked up. And I don't care what you say about
It is a mistake.
this percentage or that percentage or whatever.
It's
The
a
fact is
mistake.
that a mistake was made, and your hospital is going to pay for it. I mean, if I had just been prepared, if I had been told, it would have been a completely different situation.
At this point in time, it's a lot of questions that we can't always answer. But from your point of view, for a future pregnancy, if this situation had to recur, is it something you want to discuss as to whether or not you would continue with the pregnancy or terminate
Look,
the pregnancy?
that's irrelevant, okay? But it's something that I should have known. I should have known, and your hospital has made a mistake, and you've already admitted that, and that's fine. And I want that in writing, because I will make sure that I take this as far as I possibly can, and your hospital will pay for the mistake that you have made to my life
Yeah,
and my son's life, and you will be taking care of my son from here on out.
Apart from the legal side of things, which you're obviously very frustrated about at the moment, is there anything that I can do from my end?
I think you've done more than enough. You need to organise for your consultant to see me
will
immediately
do that.
and make sure that all of the channels are open so that I can take this as far as I need to.
Yes, you will have access to that, and obviously you're on your full rights to do that.
Fine, thank
The
you.
consultant has already mentioned that they will be coming down as soon as they finish with the case.
Right,
And you will have a chance to talk to them as well.
right, thank you.